watching at home. We're just getting started. We're just having a conversation here about child's pose versus on your back for centering, right? And you can do either. I just saying to them, we're going to start, when we start to move today, we're going to come into tabletop. So if you want to be in child's pose right now, you can. It's easy just to come right up into tabletop when we start to move. But if child's pose isn't comfortable to you, for some people it's not comfortable for minutes at a time, right? If that's you, then just lie on your back and flip around to tabletop when we get there, right? Later on, we'll be doing some work on our forearms, and child's pose will feel great when you go there for a couple breaths. But right now, it's all about being comfortable, letting yourself arrive. So lie on your back, come to child's pose, whatever's good. Let your breath start to take over. Bring you to full presence on your mat, your practice. Let your breath bring you to full focus on your mat, your practice. That's why it's important to be comfortable here wherever you are, so you really can get that awareness to your breath. Allow yourself to arrive fully. Once you feel like you've got that full focus on your breath, then you're going to add that element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Let your breaths become longer, slower, deeper. So as you inhale, you're pulling your breath all the way down into your belly. As you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. Making your breaths longer, slower, deeper. And a cleansing effect in your body. Allowing your body to start moving with your breath, syncing up your movement and your breath. That's what slow flow is all about. So take a few more breaths here. Oh, Jessica's here. Hey, Jessica. And then when you're ready to start moving, if you're on your back, just hug your knees into your chest, rock yourself up to seated, and then come around to tabletop. If you're just in child's pose, you're just coming right up into tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We're going to start just with a couple cat-cows to get that body and breath in perfect sync, like I just talked about. So as you inhale here, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. That's cow pose. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow out your armpits. That's cat. So just keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now you can be going faster or slower than me. As we do these, be going faster or slower than anybody else around. You're just going to match your movements, your breath. So just sync up that movement with the breath. Take a few more rounds here. Right, and then we're going to meet back in neutral tabletop. Now, as we come to our neutral tabletop, what I want you to do here is drop down to your elbows, right? Take one elbow down, then the other. You're getting your shoulders right over your elbows. Now your hips are still high above your knees here, right? Because you're basically in a tabletop on your forearms. What we're going to do here, you're going to take your right leg. Maybe I should turn over to the side here, right? You're going to take your right leg, extend it long, press those toes into the mat, open up that calf, and then from there, you're gonna pull that right leg up to level. Now, if that feels okay, take your left hand and reach forward, just like a spinal balance down on your forearm. Right? If that feels like too much, you can always keep your left elbow down and just do it with the leg. And then from there, just drop it back down, drop your left elbow down, drop your right knee down, so you're coming back to that forearm tabletop. Try that the other way, take your left leg, extend it all the way long, press through that heel towards the back wall as your toes are on the ground, then lift your left leg up to hip level. And if that feels okay, reach your right hand out in front of you. So we're in this forearm spinal balance on the other side. Drop it all back down into your forearm tabletop, and then we're just gonna alternate it a couple times. We're gonna flow. So as you inhale, come in to that forearm spinal balance. As you exhale, forearm tabletop. Inhale, forearm spinal balance on the other side. Exhale, forearm tabletop. Do it 2 more times on each side, just going with your own pace, at your own pace, with your own breath. I'm going to do it 1 more time on each side. Last one. And then you're back in your forearm tabletop. Now you're going to bring your hands up, come in to your regular tabletop. All right, we're going to go through our not mini sun salutations, we're doing full sun salutations here. I'm turning around just so you guys can see me for this first part. You guys stay where you are at the top of your mat in tabletop. So it's a little bit different today, right? We're going to start in this tabletop. You're just going to kick your left leg out to the left. Take your right leg out long. So now your right heel is on the ground, but your right toes are pointed towards the right side of the room. Your right heel is lined up with your left knee is lined up with your left wrist, your left shoulder is right over your left wrist. Now, peel that right hand up to the sky. So you're in a full modified side plank. And then reach your right fingertips towards the front of the room. So take that right bicep right over the right ear. Inhale, take that right arm back up to the sky. And as you exhale, take it back into tabletop. All right, now we're going to go the other way. So you're going to kick that right foot out to the right. Extend your left leg long. Remember, left heel lines up with the right knee, right shoulder right over the right wrist. Peel that left hand up to the sky. Reach your left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Take your left hand back up to the sky, and then drop it down into tabletop. So now as we get here to tabletop, now you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Now we're in our first down dog of the morning. All right, so take your time here. Bend one knee, then the other. Walk in the dog. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. Maybe just stay still. Just take the time. Check in with your body. Make sure you know what's going on, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And then from there, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet towards your hands. So now we're here in forward fold. The belly's touching the upper thighs, the head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head. Yes, no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Bend your knees as much as you need to. So your belly's on your thighs and the front of your head is pointing to the ground. As we inhale here, we're going to take a half lift into monkey. Pull your shoulders in with your hips. Get your back nice and flat, crown of the head towards the top of your mat. As you exhale, fold back down. Now this time, as we inhale, we're going to take a big reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing. As we exhale here, we're going to take a little twist, right? It's like a little hug twist. You're going to push your left hip forward. Draw your right hip back. Take your right hand, wrap it around behind your back. Take your left hand to the outside of your right hip. So it's like you're giving yourself a hug. So drop your left hand down. Bring it to the outside of your left hip. If your right hip, there we go. You're peeling your right shoulder open. You're looking over your right shoulder. There we go. Now untwist, bring your hands back up overhead. We're going to do that the other way. So you push your right hip forward, draw your left hip back, wrap your left hand around your back. Take your right hand outside your left hip. Look over your left shoulder. There we go. Now you guys will put it down. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your arms up overhead. Touch your fingertips together. And then take a little back bend right here. Shift your hips forward. Take your chest and your gaze up. So you got these little, I call them finger tens, because all 10 fingers are touching each other. Inhale, come back up. As you exhale, just bend into your elbows. Keep your finger tent. Draw it all the way back down to forward fold. And then from here, we're going to plant our hands, step or float back to plank. So shoulders even with the hips. Hips just below the shoulders. If you want to drop to your knees here, you can. Or keep on your toes. We're going to lower through our yogi push-up. We call it a chaturanga. So you're going to bend your elbows. Let them hug to your ribs. Let yourself come all the way down to the mat. this first one. That's not there. There we go. So your hands are up by your chest, your elbows are pointed straight behind you, shoulder blades are pointed together behind your back. Inhale, lift into a baby cobra. Just a little lift. Feel that pull in your low back. Be able to lift your hands if you wanted to here. And then when you're ready, or if you're ready to go into a full up dog, you can. If you're not, then stay right here in baby cobra. If you want to, press your palms into the mat, straighten your arms. Pull your chest up and through. Come all the way to up dog. You can be in up dog or you can be in baby cobra every time we flow. Totally up to you. Wherever you are, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Come back to your down dog. And now we're going to go through that again, right? So as we come back up into down dog, we drop it back down into tabletop. So we start from that tabletop with the side plank. So we're going to kick the left foot to the left, extend the right leg long, sweep the right hand up to the sky. Reach your right fingertips towards the front of the room, take them back up to the sky, drop it back down to tabletop. Kick the right foot to the right, extend the left leg long, sweep the left hand up to the sky, reach it towards the front of the room, bring it back up, drop it back down to tabletop. This time from your tabletop, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come into your down dog. We're not going to pause here this time. We're just walking our feet forward to the hands, come into forward fold. Inhale, take your half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, take that reverse swan dive, come all the way up. And then as you exhale, twist and hug, right? So we push the left hip back, right hip back, left hip forward, hug around the waist. Untwist, come back to center, go the other way. Now push the left hip back, right hip forward, around the waist. Come back to center, hands overhead, finger tense. Exhale into your back bend. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw the hands through heart center. Drive it back down to forward fold. Take another half lift to monkey. Fold back down. Plant your hands, step or float back to plank. From your knees or from your toes as you exhale. Lower through your chaturanga, bend your elbows, hug up to your ribs. Inhale to baby cobra or all the way to up dog. And then exhale, shift. Down dog. Once you're in down dog, drop down to your knees. Maybe those side planks one more time. So kick your left foot to the left, extend your right leg long, peel that right hand up, reach your right fingertips towards the front of the room. Take them back up to the sky. Drop it back down to tabletop. Kick your right foot to the right, extend your left leg long, sweep your left hand up to the sky, reach your left fingertips towards the front of the room, bring them back up, drop it back down into tabletop. From your tabletop, now you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, come to down dog, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet toward your hands. Forward fold, another half lift to monkey, fold back down, swan dive up. Take that hug twist to the right, come back up, take that hug twist to the left, come back up, finger tense, take your back bend, inhale, stand tall, exhale, bend your elbows, hand to the hip, come back down, forward fold, inhale, half lift to monkey, exhale, fold, plant your hands, step or float, back to plank, from your knees or from your toes as you exhale, lower through your chaturanga, bend your elbows, hug them to your ribs, inhale, baby cobra, or all the way to up dog, and then exhale, shift, down dog. Now from down dog, we're going to walk forward to our hands again, come to forward fold. All right, take another half lift just to reset your back. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. Fold back down. As we inhale here, we're going to take that big reverse swan dive. Now you're going to come up to standing. As you come up to standing, lift your heels up off the ground, right? So this little TBE here. Now, as you exhale, drop your heels, bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Reach your hands forward, or you can keep them up, or you can bring them to heart center, right? So you're coming to your chair. Look down, see your toes, wiggle your toes. Weights all back in your heels. Hips in front of back there, knees are covering your toes. Now, push through your feet, come back up to that TBE, so you're rising up and you're lifting your heels, come onto the balls of your feet. And as you exhale, come back into chair again. Take a deep inhale here. This time, as you exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat. Come back to forward fold. Take another half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step or float back to plank. chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, now from your down dog, take your right leg, lift it up to the sky. You're going to bend into your right knee, and then you're going to send that right foot right between your thumbs to come to runner's lunge. I'm going to turn around here, but you guys stay where you are, right? So you've got your right foot forward, left leg way back behind you, right knee right over your right ankle, left leg nice and long. Now you can stay up on your left heel here. If it feels better, you can drop to your left heel and let your left toes point to the left. It's up to you, right? We're going to come up either to crescent or warrior one. So you're peeling your upper body up. With my heel down, I'm in warrior one. A little easier to keep my balance, a little harder to get my hips square to the top of the mat. If that's what you want, stay there. Or you can lift your left heel. You're here in crescent. A little harder to keep your balance, but easier to square the hips. All right, now you're going to take your right hand, drop it to your right hip. I'm going to face forward just for a second here so you can see. All right, so you look like this. And then you're going to take your left hand, reach it over to the right. Get a little side bend there. Now from here, drop your left heel if you haven't already, and spin yourself open to warrior two. So reach that left hand back behind you. Reach that right hand in front of you. All right, so we're here in warrior two. Now, turn your hips towards the top of the mat again. Reach your arms forward. Now we're going to take eagle arms here. So you're going to bring your left arm underneath your right. So you're making that little cross at your elbows. Now your eagle arms could just be, now your broad arms and shoulders. Your eagle arms could be, you get back to palm, back to palm. Your eagle arms could be, you take palm to palm. So you're here. Now from here, right, lift your elbows up and away from your body. Look up. Now as you come back down, bring your shoulders even with your hips. You're going to step forward with your left foot. All right, and we're going to come into full eagle. Just for rest, you're going to keep your right knee bent. Step your left foot forward, swing it over your right. See how I tap, tap, tap? You can have your toes on the ground like mine are, right? That was here, came forward. Swing around, it could be here. Maybe you can get all the way to here. Now we don't have to hold this. Now you're going to unwrap that left leg. Step it all the way back. Come back into your crescent. Heel up or heel down. Bring the elbows up and away from your body again. And this time as we come down, we're going to come all the way to humble warrior. So you're bringing your right shoulder towards the inside of your right knee. Now just unwind your hands here. Bring them on either side of your right foot. And then from there, you're going to step your right foot back to meet your left. Come back to plank. Take your flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, up dog. Exhale, shift. Down dog. All right, take your left leg up to the sky here. And then bend into your left knee. Step it through. Come to your runner's lunge. So you've got your left knee over your left ankle, right leg nice and long. Again, it's your choice here. Maybe you're going to drop that right heel down. Maybe you're going to keep it up. I'm going to face forward here for this. Right now we're going to rise up either into your warrior one or into your crescent. Again, if you've got that left heel lift, right heel lifted like I do right now, a little easier to square the hips, harder to keep the balance, or drop the heel, make it easier to keep your balance, but make sure you square those hips. All right, now from here, you're going to drop your left hand down to your left hip, and then reach those right fingertips across. Take that side bend. Come back up here into your crescent or warrior one. Drop your left heel. Everybody's going to open to warrior two. Look right over the middle finger on your left hand. And then you're going to sweep that right hand all the way forward. Turn your hips back towards the front of the room. Crush your right hand underneath your left. And here we wrap up into those eagle arms. So again, could be as simple as just grabbing opposite elbows. Could be palm to palm. Could be back to palm, back to palm. Keep that deep bend in your left knee. Lift the elbows up away from your body. Look up. And then bring your shoulders back over your hips and forward. You're going to step forward with your right foot. All right, so I'm coming forward, swinging that right leg around. And maybe it's here with my toes on the ground. Maybe I get that right foot all the way to hook around the left ankle. And then from there, you're going to unwrap. You're going to step back with the right foot. Drop the right heel, makes it easier. Look up. And then and come all the way down. And your humble warrior. Bring your left shoulder towards the inside of your left knee. I did say this on the other side, but it's important. Don't rest your left shoulder on your left knee. Let it come to the inside or just hover it above if you don't get all the way to the inside. All right, once we're down here, right now we're just going to release our hands, come back in to our runner's lunge. Turn your left toes forward, or your right toes forward. If they're not already, step your left foot back to meet your right. I've got my mat all over the place, that's okay. And let's go through our flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, we're gonna do all that again, right? But we're gonna add on a little bit this time. So bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Take your half lift just to reset your back, shoulders even with the hips, and then fold back down. As we inhale, we reverse swan dive, right? We're starting with those TBEs, total body extensions. So as you come all the way up, lift your heels, lengthen out. As you exhale, drop your heels, come to your chair. And do that one more time. We rise up, lift the heels. We drop down into chair. Take a deep inhale here in chair. And then as you exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands to mount, come to forward fold. Half lift to monkey. Fold back down, plant your hands, step or float back to plank. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take your right leg, lift it up to the sky. Bend your knees, step through, come to runner's lunge. You can drop your left heel here, or you can keep that left heel up. We're gonna rise up into our crescent, or our warrior one, if you've got that heel dropped. Take your right hand, drop it to your right hip, reach those left fingertips up and over. And then from there, everybody's gonna drop that left heel. You're spinning open into warrior two. Sweep your left hand forward, wrap it underneath your right arm, come to your eagle arms. Lift those elbows up and away from your body. And then bring your shoulders back over your hips. Step forward with your left foot, swing it around over the right. And again, you can be here, you can be here. Got that full wrap. Unwrap all the way. Come back to your lunge. Lift the elbows up and away from your body again. And this time as you come down, bring that right shoulder towards the inside of your right knee. As we come all the way down here, you're going to unwind your hands, right, while you're still low. Plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky, so you're twisting to the right side of the room. Shoulders stacked, chest open. Now, we're going to come up from here into warrior two again. So drop that left heel, push away from the mat with your left hand. Come all the way to warrior two. Turn your right palm up to the sky. And then scoop up, come to reverse warrior. Let that left hand come along your left thigh. Reach that right hand up and over. And now from here, we're going to bring it back into warrior two. All right, so you're back in that warrior two. Now this time from your warrior two. It's easier from here, right? I'm going to take my right hand. I'm going to pat myself on the back with my right hand. Right, so my left hand's going up to the sky. So it looks like this. All right, now from here, take your left hand, right? Your left hand is going to face towards the ground. Turn it, or it's facing towards the ground, right? Because it's still in warrior two. Turn it so your left thumb is facing the ground and your left palm is towards the right side of your mat. Now, bend into your left elbow. Start to slide that left hand up your back. Try to make that connection with your fingertips. All right, so I'm going to turn around here so you guys can see, right? Looks like this. Now, maybe you can't get there, right? If you can't get your fingertips, maybe you look more like this. That's okay. All right, so now we're here. Now, from here, push your right leg all the way straight. Turn your right toes towards the left edge of your mat. So it's basically like you're in five-pointed stars. You've got those cow face arms. Your right elbow's going straight up to the sky. It's not here, falling down, coming in front of you. Keep it up to the sky. Now, start to hinge at your hip and draw yourself down into a wide forward fold. So you're taking that right elbow with you. Now here, your fingers, maybe if you had them together before, maybe here they have to start to spread apart, and that's okay. If you can keep them laced together, then keep them laced together. You want that right elbow, again, to face towards the mat. Right, don't let that right elbow come all cockeyed, just so you can keep the bind, right? You can release your hands if you need to. all the way back down to the mat. Take a half lift here, pull your shoulders even with your hips. Then fold back down. Now this time as we inhale, you're going to push away from the mat with both hands. Draw it all the way up to a full 5-pointed star, just for a breath. Reaching your fingertips out. Now, just like you were doing before, you're going to take your right hand, bend it to your right elbow, pat yourself on the back with your right hand. Right? Then take your left hand, instead of coming around, you're just going to take that left hand over the top of your head. Press onto the tip of your right elbow with your left hand. Push that right hand further down your back. There we go. Right, then release your hands, take them back up to the sky. Turn those right toes towards the front of the room. Bend your right knee. Drop down. Now this time, bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. All right, now turn your left toes forward. There we go. Now, you can stay right here, right? You're squeezing that right knee into the right shoulder. If you can, try to drop down to your forearms. Maybe you have to drop your left knee to do it, and that's okay. And I want you to try to get low. It's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But get low. All right, because here's what we're going to do from here. Once we're all the way down low, you're going to take your right foot, and you're going to step it back to meet your left. All right, so now you're in forearm plank. Maybe if you never dropped your palms, you end up in full plank, and that's okay. Once you get there, you're going to drop it down to forearm plank. I'm not staying here for a long time. Push forward with your toes, drop your belly, and lift your chest, and come into Sphinx. Feel that pull in your low back. Stay here for a breath. And then let your forehead come all the way to the mat. Bring your hands to your chest. Tuck your toes under. You can come through tabletop and then into down dog, or you can push up to plank and come into down dog. But eventually, we're all going to meet back here in down dog. All right, so we get to skip the chaturanga here. You did the work. Now we're going to do all that on the left side. So you're taking your left leg, lifting it up to the sky. Bend your knees, step it through, come to your runner's lunge here on the left side. Left knee over the left ankle, right leg nice and long. We're going to inhale, rise up into our warrior one or crescent. Once you're there, drop your left hand to your left waist and reach that right hand up and over. Drop the right heel if you haven't already. Spin yourself open, warrior two. And then draw that right hand around towards the front. Bring it underneath the left, wrap it up into your eagle arms. Keep that deep bend in your left knee. First, lift your elbows up. Take your gaze up, lean back. Come bring your elbows over your hips. Step forward with your right foot. Wrap it around. Tap. Or keep the right foot off the mat. Or hook the right toes around. Whatever works for you. Then unwind that right leg. Step it all the way back. Come to your runner's lunge. Or come to your lunge, right? Lean back again with your eagle arms. Come all the way forward into humble warrior. Left shoulder towards the inside of the left knee. Unwrap your hands here. Left hand plants on the inside of the right foot. Right hand goes up to the sky. Taking that twist. And then we're going to push away from the mat with the right hand. Bring yourself into warrior two again. From your warrior two, turn your left palm up to the sky. Scoop up. Come to reverse warrior. And from reverse warrior, we bring it back to warrior two. Right? And this time from your warrior two, you're going to take that left hand, bring it up to the sky, pat yourself on the back. This way here. Right? Take your right hand, it's still out long, turn it so your right thumb is towards the ground and your right palm is open towards the left side of the room. Bend into your right arm. Bring it up. Again, maybe you can make that connection here. If you can't, your hands are apart a little bit, that's okay. Right? Now once we're here, push your left leg all the way straight. Turn your left toes towards the right edge of your mat. So you're in this forward fold facing the right side of the room. We're in this, I should say, 5-pointed star with cow face arms facing the right side of the room. Start to hinge at the hip, draw it all the way down into your fold. Keep that left elbow pointed towards the ground. And then release your hands, drop them to the mat. Take a half lift, pull your shoulders in with your hips. Come back down. Use your core, press both palms into the floor, and then push them away. Let it draw you all the way back up into a full 5-pointed star. Take a breath here and lengthen everything out. And then you're bending into your left elbow again, patting yourself on the back. This time you take that right hand up and over, grab onto the tip of your left elbow, push it down a little bit more. Take your hands back up to the sky. Turn your left toes towards the top of your mat. And then bend into your left knee, drop your hands down, either side of your left foot, and then maybe bring them both. I should maybe definitely bring them both to the inside of your left foot. All right, so now we're going to dragon pose. Again, you're squeezing that left knee in towards the left shoulder. You can drop down to your right knee if you want. I want you to try to get down to your forearms here. Right? If you have a block, maybe your elbows land on the block. Maybe you need to stay on your palms, that's okay. Or wherever you are, really squeeze that left knee in. And then from here, we're going to step back. Right? So if you've got your knee down and you want to step back to a modified plank, you can, right? Or you can come up off that right knee, step left foot back, and you're in forearm plank. If you never came to your forearms, then you're in regular plank, and once you get there, you drop down to your forearms. You can be a modified forearm plank, right? I can be down on my knees, wherever I started at. Once we hold it for a breath, then you're going to kind of scoop forward, let your thighs drop, let your knees drop, let your belly drop, and bring your chest up and through, so you're in Sphinx. Take a breath here. And then pull your hands back to your chest, touch your forehead to the mat. And then from there, we're going to push back into down dog, either through plank or through tabletop. This time, once you're in your tabletop, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. Now we're going to toggle our feet out wide to the edges of the mat. Bring your heels in, toes out, bend into your knees, and drop your hips. And now we're on our Vinyasa squat. If you have a block, you can sit down on your block if that makes it better. If it's not comfortable, drop it all the way down to your glutes and come into a bound ankle. Right. Let your eyes close. Take a few moments here. Just reconnect with your breath. See if you still have that focus on the breath. See if you still have control of the breath. More breaths here. Now, let your eyes drift open. We're going to take a twist right now. Right? If you're in Vinyasa, you're just going to drop that left hand to the inside of your left foot. If you're in bound ankle, just bring that left hand to your left knee. If you're in Vinyasa, you can let that left heel lift, or if you can keep it down, keep it down. Take your right hand up to the sky. We're just twisting. The right side of the room. Now let that right hand come down. It's going to come inside your right foot if you're in Vinyasa, onto your right knee if you're in bound ankle, right? And then take your left hand up to the sky. Now drop that left hand down, and then from there you're going to plant your hands on the mat, and we're going to come back into plank. So you're going to step back in that plank. I'm going to come to the side here so you guys can see me. Drop down to your forearms. Right, if you want to be on your knees right now, you can be. Set it up. But then everybody's going to tuck their toes. You're going to take your knees off the mat, and then you're going to let your hips come up to the sky, right? Start to walk your feet forward. So you can still bring your shoulders right over your elbows, but your hips are high. So we're in dolphin here. You can stay right here. Or, if you want to try to make it a little bit more, see if you can lift your right foot up off the ground. Maybe you take a little hop with your left foot. You don't have to do any of that. You can stay in dolphin. Take 2 breaths. Sarah looks good. Drop back down. She wouldn't be doing it if she thought you guys could see her on camera. Now, take that left leg, lift it up to the sky. Right? Now, same thing here, right? You can stay right here. You can keep that foot down. Just hold dolphin. Maybe you take a couple hops with your right foot. One more breath. Whatever you're doing. And then drop that left foot down. And then drop to your knees. Now, child's pose is going to feel really good, right? Push your back over your heels. Take your arms long. We're not going to stay here long. After we really work those shoulders, child's pose should feel really good. Take another breath here. And then come back up into tabletop. All right, so we're not done with our core work yet. What we're going to do here, you're going to drop your hips to one side or the other. Swing your legs around in front of you. Come to this hook line position. So I've got my feet on the ground, knees up to the sky. Now we're going to come from here into boat. So you can take your arms long and lift your feet. Maybe you're right here, right? The higher you bring your feet, the harder it is. Maybe you're here. I like to grab onto my feet. Here, right? Maybe you have to grab the top of your knees or behind your knees. That's all good. Now wherever you are here, drop your feet to the ground. Sweep your hands back behind you so your palms are on the mat and your fingertips are pointed toward your glutes. Press into your palms, press into your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky. So you're in a reverse table. If you can get those hips even with the knees, that's great. If they don't come that high, that's okay. You can tilt your chin back so you're looking towards the back of the room, or maybe you're just looking straight up at the ceiling. All right, now let your hips drop back down. Come back into your version of boat. All right, we're going to do that a couple more times. So we're here in boat. We drop the feet, we sweep the hands back, we lift up, and reverse tabletop. We drop back, drop our hips back to the ground, we come back into boat. Let's do that one more time. Drop your feet, sweep your hands back, lift your hips, drop your hips, lift your hands forward, lift your feet. So now we're here in boat. Now, from your boat, you're going to extend your legs long, hover your heels, and then hover your chest, or hover your shoulder blades. So you want your shoulder blades to stay off the mat. So we're in canoe. Right, so it's like this. My shoulder blades are peeled up off the mat. I'm in a low canoe here. I can make it easier by bringing my feet higher. My shoulder blades are still off the mat. That's the key here in canoe, shoulder blades, head off the mat. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then let everything relax down. Let your heels come down. Let your head and shoulders come down. Take your arms overhead. Do a nice full body stretch. Point your toes like the tip of a pencil towards the front of the room. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. Lengthen it all out. Now from here, take your right knee and hug it into your chest. Let your left leg stay long. So you're just hugging that right knee in. And then start to stir the pot with your right knee. It doesn't matter which direction you go first. Just draw those circles up on the ceiling with your right knee. Do 3 or 4, whichever direction you're going. And then next time you get all the way into your chest, take a little pause, and then switch directions with the circles, taking the other way. And then from there, you're going to release. You're hugging that right knee into your chest. So release your right hand. Let it come out long, straight out of your shoulder blade. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and guide that right knee over to the left side of your body. Take your chin and your gaze over your left shoulder, or your right shoulder, sorry. Over your right shoulder. Bring that right knee back in, hug it into your chest. Now, you're going to take your left arm out long. So your left arm's coming straight out of your shoulder blade. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee and push that right knee open so the sole of your right foot comes against your left inner thigh. And so this is called fallen tree. Pull that right knee back into your chest. Another little hug in, and then let's switch our legs. Take that right leg all the way long. Take your left knee, hold it into your chest. Which direction you go first? Once you've made 3 or 4 circles, take a little pause, and then make your circles go the other way. 3 or 4 circles the other direction. Back and forth, the left knee all the way in here. We're going to take that twist here, so you let your left arm go out long, take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, and guide that left knee over to the right side of your body while you look over your left shoulder. It doesn't matter if your left knee comes to the ground. Mine is clearly not going to here. It's all right. We're going to feel this in your left hip. Nice opening. Bring that left knee back into your body. This time, you're going to take your right arm out long. Take your left hand to the inside of your left knee. And then push that left knee open. Bring the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. And again, I'm taking that left hand, and I'm just pushing that leg more open. My left knee still doesn't come to the ground. Maybe yours does. Maybe it rests on a block. Maybe it's just hanging out in space like mine. It's all good. Trying to open up that left hip flexor here. 3 breaths. Bring that left knee back in, hug it into your chest. Now, we're going to take both legs long. Okay, I'm going to turn around. You guys are just going to stay where you are. So your leg flat on your back. Now, all you're going to do here is roll on to your belly. Just leave the other side. Okay, so you're going to roll into your belly. If you're here in the studio, you're facing the back of the room. It's okay, right? Lay down on your belly and come here. Now, you're going to turn your head to the right. So take your left ear to the ground. Take your arms out long. Okay, so they're coming straight out of your shoulder blades. If you want to, you can make them cactus arms where you bend into your elbows and your fingertips are going towards the back of the room. Right. Now, bend into your right knee. You're not going to take it off the ground. You're just bending into that right knee, sending it to the right, and then sliding it up towards your right elbow. A little half frog. Rest right here. Now send that right leg back down. Okay? And then you're going to take your gaze the other direction. So turn your right ear to the mat. So you're looking to the left. And then you're going to do the same thing. Slide your left knee up toward your left elbow. You have your arms out long. You have your arms in cactus arms. Whatever feels better. You don't actually have to bring that left knee into the left elbow, just towards the left elbow. More breaths here. And then slide that left leg back. And then you're going to turn your head towards the back of the room. Bring your hands to your chest. Push yourself up into tabletop. Now, as we come to tabletop, right, whichever direction you're facing, you're going to drop your hips, and you're going to turn so that you're facing the front of the room again. Drop your hips, swing your legs around in front of you. Now, you can be here just in this regular easy sit, or even have your legs extended in front of you, whatever feels good. All right, so we worked a lot with the arms today, so we're just going to stretch out the arm a little bit here. You're going to take your right arm, bring it across your body, right? And then you're going to take your left hand, maybe you grab underneath your left elbow, your right elbow with your left hand. Maybe you bring your left elbow underneath your right elbow and your elbow to elbow. Maybe you slide your left hand out to your right wrist and you pull. Right? It doesn't matter where you are. What we're trying to do here is open up that right shoulder blade, right? So you're pulling that arm across your body while you're keeping your shoulders square to the front of the room. You should feel that stretch in your right shoulder. Just take 2 more breaths here. And we're going to do that on the other side. So release your right arm and then let your left arm come across your body. Again, you can support underneath your left elbow with your right hand. You can bring it elbow to elbow if that feels good, or you can bring that right hand to that left elbow. Pull it across. Keep your shoulders towards the front of the room. So it's just that left arm traveling across your body, opening up that left shoulder blade. 3 breaths right here. Release your hands here. Now, we're going to come back into that hook line position. So you're getting your toes at the top of your mat, right? Because you want to have space back behind you. When you lie down, your head, hips, and shoulders are all going to hit the mat. So your toes are at the very top of your mat. Your knees are up to the sky. Feet are on the ground. Take your arms out long. Tuck your chin to your chest. Round it on down to your back. Let your hands come to your sides. Palms face down. Walk your heels in. Closer to your glutes. Close as you can get them. Maybe close enough that you can feel your fingertips brush back your heels. And from there, you're going to press into all 4 corners of both feet and then lift your hips up to the sky. So we're in this nice, gentle bridge. Maybe your hips barely came up. Maybe you can get them all the way up so they're even with your knees. You should tuck your shoulders at least slightly here so your chest is puffing open. If you want to make this really intense, you can work one entire shoulder and the other underneath your body so you can push your hips even higher. You don't have to do that. It's just an option. If you have a block, maybe you slide that block underneath your hips. Let your hips rest in the block so it's a supported bridge. Okay. We're trying to increase the flexibility of our back here. So if we're using the block, right, you're using the leverage of that block to push your hips higher and get that increase in flexibility. If you don't have a block or you choose not to use a block, you've got to engage your quads and your glutes and use the strength in your legs to increase the flexibility of the back. Wherever you are, let's take 3 more breaths. As you exhale, let your hips float back down. All right, now from here, we're going to come into waterfall. So you're going to keep your head and shoulders all on the ground right now. Take your feet straight up to the sky. Flex them like they're going to step on the ceiling. Right? Now you can stay right here, great inversion in and of itself. Sending the blood from the feet where it pulls all day, taking it back to the head and the heart where you need it more. If you want to have a block under your hips, lift your hips a little bit more, elevate your hips a little bit more, makes it slightly more intense, you can go there. If you want to go a lot more intense, and you want to come to full shoulder stand, then you can lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands at the small of your back so that you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. All right? If you're in shoulder stand, make sure your elbows point towards the front of the room. Take the body weight into your shoulder girdle, not into your elbow joint. You can kind of half flex, half point your feet if you're in shoulder stand. If you're about to slip on a pair of high-heeled shoes. Right? You don't have to be in shoulder stand. You can be in waterfall, supported waterfall. Find what inversion works best for you. We're taking 3 more breaths here. Now, when you're ready to come out of this, right, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Whatever version of the inversion you're in, you're going to bend your knees straight, right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. So now we're back in this constructive rest position. We're going to come from here into our happy baby. Now, in happy baby, we take the feet up to the sky again. Now, this time your feet don't have to come straight over your hips. Right? They can be angled more forward if that's more comfortable to you. You're going to separate your hips. Maybe you separate them just slightly. Maybe you separate them a whole lot. That's up to you. And then bend into your knees. Again, maybe it's a slight bend. Maybe it's a big, big bend. Maybe you keep them completely straight. That's up to you. Reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you can grab the inside or outside sole of the foot or the ankle or the shin or the knee, wherever you make that connection, it's good. Once you've made it, you're going to roll forward just slightly. You want to feel that sacrum, the low part of your back, press into the mat. Once that sacrum is pressing into the mat, let that rock go from side to side. It should feel good when you're doing the rock, right? Like a little spinal massage. If it doesn't feel good, then try staying still. See if that feels better. You can change your leg position once you're in the pose, right? Maybe now you feel like you want your legs to be wider, or straighter, or bent more, brought in more. Find what feels really, really delicious to you. Let yourself hang out there. A few more breaths. Now from here, bend into your knees. Put them into your chest one last time. And then we're going to take our final twist. Right? So you're going to let your arms go out long, like wings, that T position, both arms. Okay? And we're dropping our knees to the right as we take our chin and our gaze to the left. If you want to here, take your right hand, press those knees closer to the earth as you look over your left shoulder. Or if you have enough space, maybe extend your legs so your toes are going toward your right fingertips. Maybe you're just staying where you are. So the key is to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's just going to give you the twist. Bring your knees back to center here. And then as you exhale, drop your knees to the left and look to the right. You take your left hand, press down those knees, extend your legs toward your left fingertips, or stay where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off these twists, just steal off our practice. Let our bodies remember everything they did today. So next time we come practice yoga, it's all a little easier. We go everywhere, a little deeper. On your next inhale here, bring your knees back to center. Right, you're giving them one more hug into your chest if that feels good. And then start to set up for your final pose, your Shavasana. And let your legs extend long. Take your hands to your sides. That's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. Don't stay there if it's not comfortable. Maybe you bend your knees. Maybe you butterfly your legs. Maybe you roll to your side or to your belly. Just like when we're centering at the beginning of class, that you want this to be super comfortable to you. You can just stay. Stay still. Stay and let your mind go quiet. If you're still not at that quiet in your mind, let your breath take you there. We're not controlling our breath anymore. Letting your breath go, just noticing it, observing it, letting your breath begin to guide you. Release control of your breath. Keep your complete focus on your breath. And then your breath can take you right to that place where there's nothing left in the mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet of the mind. Into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Feel that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. You want once you're here and you're on your back, you can take your arms out. Take a nice full deep body stretch again. And then from there, roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a few breaths right there, just reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. But when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated. And we'll close here. As we're going to close with our two Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath we inhale. As we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. Then the Om is the universal syllable. It uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths, or you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. Now we'll inhale one final time and out. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, so thank you guys. I will see you all tomorrow for some gentle yoga. I'll be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for that. And then, otherwise, we should have a new schedule up for next week later today. But I will see you all soon. Have a great day. Bye.